I'm so excited about this feature. I did not know you could do that. That makes my life so much easier the rest of this week.
I don't know if it's just a cell phone thing or what, but excuse the way I look today, guys. I am helping to reno a house, and it's a lot bigger job than what we thought.
No thanks. That doesn't sound like fun.
No, it's not at all. Not at all. I'll send you pictures after what we walked into.
Oh, that sounds great.
Thank God for Blue Ocean, I'll tell you that much.
I know. We're doing construction at our house, and like we have construction workers doing most of the work, but some of it Jack said he would do, and he's really regretting it, and I just keep feeding him as much Blue Ocean as possible.
Look, this is my project. But like I have the entire house to do. Yeah. Anyways, that's my boohoo story.
I just didn't shower. That's all. I didn't do any physical labor. I just didn't take a shower today.
I did shower. It just doesn't look like it.
I scheduled one. I've been on Zoom since 1 o'clock today, and I had like an hour scheduled in my day for a shower and 45 minutes scheduled in my day for dinner. I did eat dinner, but I chose during my 1 hour shower time to put up one of my Christmas trees.
You put up a Christmas tree already?
I did, because we've got to travel a lot. Normally I would never. It's like sacrilegious to me to put your Christmas tree up until the day after Thanksgiving. But we are traveling so much between now and Christmas that like I just felt sad that I wasn't going to be in the presence of my Christmas tree.
Our Thanksgiving is in October here, so that wouldn't be cool.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad. Our Thanksgiving is next week.
Yeah. Ours has been and gone.
Well,
cool. Well,
what's up?
Not much. I don't even know who's on here because my phone's being dumb and not showing me anything tonight. But
25 people on here. I can see lots of faces and many names.
I figured out how to see. Yeah, awesome. A lot of new names too, Mandy.
Excuse me, I'm dying.
Don't die. Wait till after this Zoom in your shower. Don't die dirty.
Okay. Well,
yeah, lots of new names on tonight too.
I'm super pumped to connect with everyone. I know that you and I have both had a ton of stuff going on, and life has just been crazy these past couple of months, and so I'm super pumped up to get connected with everybody, and I feel like I've been in messages with a bunch of you all lately, and Jackie or me and Leslie or Jackie and someone, and then I'll get thrown in, so I feel like I've connected with a lot of the names on here. I'm super pumped up that you were able to get on. I'm super excited that Jackie invited me to come on and be with you guys, because I basically just want to know what I can do, like what can I do for you, and if there's anything that I can do tonight on this Zoom, or questions I can answer, or if y'all just want me to give you some spiels and things that I'm excited about and stuff that's going on and what's working. And
why don't you start with a spiel and what's working, maybe go over some plays that work. We've got a lot of new people on. Okay. And I keep getting the same feedback from everybody. It's really slow right now. So maybe just, yeah.
Okay.
Do your Mandy thing.
Okay. So here's what I always preface every Zoom like this with. You are either going to love me or hate me when we're all done. I'm going to try real hard to make it so you love me. So some of the things I say you might not want to hear, or you might not believe me when I tell you them, but I promise you that I don't ever tell you anything that doesn't work or that isn't working for other people, because it serves me no purpose. It serves Jackie no purpose. It serves you no purpose to be out doing things that are completely unproductive and useless, right? Like, let's have a reality check conversation for 1 minute. Everything that happens inside of our team affects the livelihood of my family. And a lot of the stuff that's happening with the people on this Zoom affects the livelihood of many of you. So it would be super, super silly for me to give you advice that doesn't work. Can we all agree?
Absolutely.
That you might not like the tips and tricks I give you because they don't sound like fun or they don't sound like something you could do. However, if you do them, they will work. So a couple of really fun things that I have been a part of lately, many of you are doing them on this Zoom right now, that's really, really, really working. This is going to apply to those of you who've been here for a while or those of you who are just getting started. And I'm calling them launch threads. So there was a time in our business where we had lots of team threads, lots of message threads. I felt very overwhelmed. At the advice of Brian Underwood, we closed many of them down. Do any of you remember that? Okay. And that was great. My brain could work for a little while. I could find a few people here and there that really needed my help. I was no longer missing messages from customers. But what happened is I started to, like everyone who's been here for a while kind of still did okay, right? You knew what you were doing. You had already learned what you needed to learn. But what we found is that we were kind of losing new people coming in. So what's been happening, what's been really, really cool, starts out as an introduction and becomes somebody's launch. So if you're looking to build a team, okay, and we can get to, hey, how do I get 3 customers this month? And we can go to, hey, how do I find a new promoter? That can be something that we talk about. But let's talk first about what happens when you get someone who wants to share the opportunity or someone who wants to share the product, because it will happen. What we're doing is an introduction and we're turning it into a launch. So I'm going to use some names on here. This may or may not actually be a real scenario, but I'm just going to pull random names, okay? So let's say Jackie and I already work together and she enrolls this really awesome person named Leslie, okay? And this is what she's going to do. She's going to say, oh my gosh, Mandy, she's going to put Leslie and I in a message together. Or better yet, let's say, well, let's start with this example first. She's going to put Leslie and I in a message together. And she's going to say, oh my gosh, Mandy, I'm so excited for you to meet my friend Leslie. She just came on board with us this week. She's so excited. She wants to crush GoPro and MVP. I think she's going to be a rock star. I can't wait to help her reach all of her goals. And then I'm going to reply. I usually do it with a voice message, unless I sound like this. This week I've been typing because I sound like I have a frog in my throat. But I'll usually say something like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to meet you, Leslie. I'm like mimicking it, right? This is me doing my voice recorder. So excited to meet you, Leslie. I'm so pumped up for you. You are so fortunate to be working with Jackie. She's incredible. She's not going to steer you wrong. Listen to everything she says. But I'm here to support you as well. Feel free to come back to this message thread every time you have a question, anytime you need anything, so Jackie and I can support you together. All right? So also in that introduction, Jackie would say something nice about me. So she would introduce Leslie to me and tell me something great about Leslie. She would tell Leslie something great about me. I'm going to tell Leslie something great about Jackie. So everybody feels good. We all know that we're rock stars. We all know we can help each other. And then the minute I'm done with that, I change the name of the message thread. Have y'all ever done that before? Change the name of the message thread? I change the name of the message thread, and it's going to say Leslie's 30-day launch. That message now has meaning. She knows she can come back to it whenever. It means that me, even though Jackie is totally fine to support a new promoter that comes into her business, it helps me stay on top of things. It helps me stay in touch. It helps me celebrate Leslie when something goes wrong, and heaven forbid Jackie needs to take a shower or go to a doctor or pee. Guess what? Leslie doesn't have to wait for Jackie because I can answer if Jackie can't, right? So that's been really helpful. What's been super helpful about it is that I have about 25 or 30 of those that have been started this week. So in the morning when I wake up, all I have to do is type the word launch into my search bar, and every single message that I have been put in this week with a brand new promoter pops up. And I can stop by and check in with every single promoter every single day and say, hey, how's it going? How can I support you today? Let me tell you a little bit about what I did today to jumpstart my business. Awesome. We're communicating. I feel like I have relationships again with people that I didn't have before. So if you bring a brand new person in, I would suggest that you start doing this. If you're somebody who has people on your team who, like, let's say you have someone who's bringing people in and they're not doing the reach out, you can ask for it. So the other day I was going through my statistics in my back office, and I saw that there was a brand new person who was in and had like almost 2,000 in new volume, and it's only the first week of the month. That's pretty good. That's hitting MVP in a week. I had no idea who this person was. So I looked them up. I found out who they were connected to. I don't really know that person. I found out who they were connected to. I do know that person. Awesome. So I messaged that promoter and said, hey, can you get me in a message with, and I'm just going to use 2 more names. Can you get me in a message with Cassidy and Josie Lynn so that they can introduce me to their new rock star who has 2,000 in new volume this month? Guess what I discovered? The person I reached out to didn't even know they had someone in their team that had 2,000 in new volume that month. So now
that just happened to me too.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? So, like, I can connect all those people together. Same thing. I can change it to whatever the girl's name is. Let's pretend her name is Leanne. I'm just pulling names off of this Zoom. Leanne's Pruvin business launch. I just am going to always use the word launch so that I can look up all the messages every morning. And then what's really cool is once we get past someone's 30 days, we can call it their Run for All-Star. You can change the name again, and then you can pull up all your All-Star messages. And then once those people hit All-Star, you can change it to Run for Champ 6. So, you know, this may or may not apply to your business right now, but if you start implementing those things as you bring people in, your people are going to be incredibly supported. You're going to feel incredibly supported, like you won't have to do it on your own. We're all here to help each other. So that is a super huge play that works. And you can go as high as you feel necessary. In my personal opinion, the more people I can add to a message thread, the better. So if there's 4 people in between you and the person that you're trying to get launched, great. Maybe you only need 4 people and maybe 1 person above you. Okay. But if it's like me and I bring in a brand new promoter, well, I only have really 1 person above me, right? So I'm going to probably add a couple more people, maybe a sideline, whatever, just so we can support them. But you could go all the way up to Michael if you wanted to. Throw him in a message. He's not as fast as answering them as I am, but he does answer. So that's been a really huge play that works. The introduction is huge. People are more likely to stay committed and stay involved if they have more than 1 person to answer to, right? You can ignore 1 person. It's kind of hard to ignore 4 at a time, right? So I've just found that we're getting a little bit more productivity out of that person, especially then they don't have to wait for a couple hours, for example, if the person that they're talking to is unavailable or had a doctor's, like I had an hour-and-a-half doctor's appointment today. I know when you're just getting started, sometimes urgency is high if you have a question. So I can't imagine if somebody was waiting for me for 90 minutes for an answer. The other play that works that I'm going to talk to you guys about is when you bring a new promoter in, and then we'll talk about some basic plays that work that will actually get you activity. But I'm going to share one more thing and then have you guys ask some questions. Another play that's working for me as we're bringing new promoters in, either during those launches or like I was just on a Zoom with a new promoter today, really, really, really stress the importance of MVP. It should be the number 1 thing that you're talking to your new promoters about. Please don't worry about the compensation plan. It doesn't matter what package you come in with. It doesn't matter if you understand how to be a Champ 6. It doesn't matter if you have product. None of it matters. What matters is that you hit MVP. I don't care if you hit GoPro. GoPro's fun, $250, $100 in free product, that's awesome. But MVP is so important. It doesn't mean you can't be successful if you don't hit it. A very good friend of mine who is not in our team, but who is here at Pruvin, I've become friends with her through this opportunity. She's a rank 10, and she did not hit MVP. Okay, she had to wait until later and hit an MVP reset. So it doesn't mean you can't do amazing things. But remember, MVP resets are way harder than hitting MVP for real. And hitting MVP literally gives you money in places of your business that you will never see it again if you don't hit MVP. So if you don't already know this, when you hit MVP, you earn the right to have an MVP mentor bonus, which means every person you bring in that hits MVP, you will get $50. Every person that they bring in who hits MVP, $50. Every person that they bring in that hits MVP, $50. Every person that they bring in, $20. Every person that they bring in, $20. I mean, it just goes all the way down through multiple levels of your business. So when we have a really amazing month and people are hitting MVP like crazy, I've had checks where there are $700, $800, $900, $1,000 in MVP bonuses because I have 10 or 20 people in my level 1 that are hitting MVP, 10 or 20 people in my level 2. And you might be thinking in your head, well, that's gigantic. That'll never happen. Guess what? I thought that's gigantic and that'll never happen too. So I'm so super grateful that I hit MVP because I can't imagine leaving that kind of money on the table. I'm mentoring people to hit that bonus, right? You're teaching people to hit that bonus. It's awesome that they get money. Don't you want a reward for it too? So MVP is important there. MVP is also super important because you want to be able to participate in the ownership pool once you hit rank 7. My first ownership pool with the company was last January. I had hit rank 7 in November and hit rank 8 in December. And so just 2 months of an ownership pool at rank 7 and rank 8 was almost $10,000 in just one bonus that I would not have gotten if I did not hit MVP. I still would have been a rank 7. I still would have been a rank 8. I would have had all the volume. But can you imagine looking at that and then seeing a big old X next to that amount of money because you just didn't hit MVP? So if you didn't hit MVP and what I'm telling you is freaking you the freak out, I need you to pay very close attention for the next MVP reset. And as soon as it happens, you need to connect with Leslie or Jackie or me or all of us or whoever your uplines are. You need to dig in with us and say, help me hit this. If you're bringing, because you can earn all of that back by hitting it during a reset. If you're bringing new people in, it needs to be the first and most important conversation that you have with them. People shouldn't dabble. Really, do not let someone come in and say, I don't have any interest in earning these bonuses. I just want to be a promoter. No. Nope. You're doing them a disservice because if they change their mind 6 months down the road, we may stop doing MVP resets. You know what I mean? They might miss that opportunity. So they don't want to go after it. If they don't think they can do it, ask them to start as a customer. I'd rather have them miss out on those 2 people that they enroll before they go, oh, holy crap, I think I know 20 people. I'd rather have them miss out on those 2 people counting for their bonus than have them never get MVP. Does that make sense? Yes? So we're kind of working backwards because I started with what should you be doing if you have people under you. And if you haven't connected with people under you or you don't know who they are, this is a really good time of year to dig in. Right before the holidays does get a little bit slow. It just does. It does everywhere. I mean, this is the time of year. I mean, I don't know if you know this about me, but Jack and I live in wine country and we're members of like 7,000 wineries. Not really 7,000. I think it's 7, but I like to be dramatic. And we would cut back this time of year. Like being in a wine club is expensive and November is always when they charge there's always going to be a shipment in November because they want you to have wine for the holidays. Well, when you're a member of 7 and your wine club shipments are $200 or $300, that's a lot of money in 1 month, right? It always works out that you're all going to get billed for all of them in November. So we would cut back, right? Because it's the holidays. People are doing that with other things. Moms and dads are going to give up on the supplements that they want. They're going to turn off their smart ship. They're going to not reach out to you because they're saving for Christmas. But on January 1st, when they weigh 13 pounds more. I think that's the average that they say between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Well, here in the United States, it's like 13 pounds. It's like the average American. I mean, we're fat here. All of us in the United States just are morbidly obese. I'm just going to put that out there. So, but don't be too sad. Canada's number 2, I think. No, Mexico's number 2, I think. I don't know. I saw a chart at Keto Academy more. I think Canada, Mexico, and the United States are in the top 3. Then they're going to be ready. So now's a really good time to build some strength and stability in your team and plant as many seeds as possible, which is what we're going to talk about next after I let you guys ask some questions, because once we get close to January, everybody's going to want what you have. There is nothing that does what keto does, right? There's just nothing. So does anybody have any questions about those first 2 things that I talked about? You can unmute yourself. It is hard to pass up all the good baking. My mom makes an incredible cheesecake, and I can assure you when she comes for Christmas, I will have all the ingredients ready. And yes, I know I could make it keto. No, I will not. It will be a regular cheesecake, and she'll have to make 2 because 1 whole cheesecake will be for me. For sure.
Right?
Does anybody have any questions about that stuff or situations where they could see where that might be helpful? Jackie, I know you and I have been doing a lot of that this week. I know you're still working while I'm talking.
No, I'm not. I couldn't get unmuted. Oh. I'm just trying to be quiet. The house is so echoey. We've done a pile of that this week. And, Mandy says as soon as you bring them into your business, get them connected. But I went back to people that I brought into the business when I first started almost a year ago and connected with Mandy. And, Mandy said to me one day, she's like, there's things that we can tell somebody 100 times and they just don't hear it until they hear it from somebody else. The exact same thing. And that's where, there's been people that I've connected with Mandy this week, and she's telling them the exact same thing that I've told them, but because it's Mandy telling them and it's not me or whatever, they're all of a sudden doing it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's kind of like that whole dad voice theory or whatever, but
I'm the dad.
Well, it's just that new voice, right? It's like, well, Jackie's been telling me to connect, but I didn't want to do it. But if that's what Mandy's doing and that's what Jackie's doing, then this is what I need to do.
And it's just setting an example, right? It's really hard for me to tell someone to connect people to me if I don't connect them to someone else. So, I'll add someone in a message thread with Michael when they first come in, and hope, my hope by doing that is that I'm like, hey, listen, the buck doesn't stop with me. People need to know that the buck doesn't stop with you, because they need to know that there's other people out there that can support them. Because if the buck stops with you, you all automatically look like something that they can never obtain. Does that make sense? Like if I was the end all be all and I was the only person that could ever answer any questions and I was the only person that could help the people on our team, I think for me that would be really intimidating. If I were coming in, I would be intimidated by that. And I would think, oh, that's a really hard job. I don't know if I could do that. What made me realize I could do what I'm doing right now is that I have not had to do it by myself since the beginning, right? Melissa, who I enrolled with, introduced me right away to Michael and Michael. And I used Melissa. I've used Michael. I used Michael Rutherford the most because he and I just have the same personality.
You guys click.
Yeah, we're basically the same person. I'll tell you a funny story about that in a minute. But, if I had to look at, if Melissa was the only person that I ever talked to and I thought she had to handle all of our team's questions, I would have been like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to do that. Right? I wouldn't have ever felt empowered, but I felt empowered because I was able to help other people. And I'm the first person to admit I stopped doing that for a while. Not because I wanted to be the end all and be all. I just reached a point where I was like, gosh, I've been doing this for a while. Do I really need to reach out to Michael? He probably is going to think I'm a big old dummy, or it's going to seem silly. And then when I went back to doing what I was doing at the beginning, it was so empowering, right? It's just super empowering. So now the few people that I've brought in personally in the past couple months, they're bringing someone new in and they're connecting them to me and Michael. So now they don't feel overwhelmed, right? They can bring in a new promoter, no problem, because they're not going to have to do all the work. I'm going to help. Michael's going to help. There's 2 or 3 other people. Ultimately, ultimately it does die down. I mean, I'm pretty sure people that are coming in on my 15th level aren't adding me to their message threads. But the good news is that there's so many people that they have added to their threads that have been connected to me at one point that if they ever get stuck, they can throw me in the message real quick and I can answer the question. And then if I need to leave, I can pop myself back out. So just don't underestimate the power of connecting people. And like Jackie said, sometimes I'm saying the same things that she's saying, and sometimes I'm saying nothing at all. Sometimes I'm literally just like, oh my gosh, I'm so pumped up to get connected to you. Let's crush it. And it's just someone else's voice being excited is enough to fire them up. Sometimes I never even have to revisit the message, right? It's just someone else there to help cheer them on. They just know they're not alone. And I'm sure if I asked, you guys would raise your hand if I said, how much better would you feel if you knew you weren't doing it with just one other person, but you were doing it with 5, right? It just feels more empowering. Anybody else that I know, Leslie, you and I have talked to a few people too, just like Jackie said, not just brand new people, but people who have said, okay, I'm ready. I was overwhelmed at first, but now I'm ready to get things cracking again. And we've gotten to talk to a couple of people too.
Yeah, it's been really awesome this week. I'm doing a lot of things that Jackie is doing, is just kind of revisiting people that have kind of, I haven't talked to in a while, and I'm just going back and saying, it's another thing that I heard you talking about, or Mitch Newman, I think, on the weekend, just saying, hey, I just want to touch base with you. We haven't talked in a while, and I just want to make sure that I am, or that you know I'm here to help you, however that looks like, and just starting up another conversation. And then it's been really, really good, because people are starting to open up and say, yeah, I'm ready to get back and do this or whatever. But at least I kind of started the conversations anyway. And then we've done a lot of intro launch chats. So it's been awesome.
And do you find, and I don't know the answer to this, but I can guess, do you find that that's duplicating now and you are seeing you and other people in your team being added to messages and getting connected to new people? I don't know the answer, so that's not a staged question because I'm not a part of every single message that you're in, so I don't know. But is that what's happening?
Yes, they're following suit. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
People really do what you do, right? People really do what you do. And here's a classic real life example. My daughter's room is so messy. It's so messy. She's a teenager. It's horrible. Her bathroom, horrible. And I yelled at her the other day about how messy her room was. And shortly after, she needed to come into my room to borrow something. And she took one look at my bathroom counter and went, Mom, really? You want me to go clean my room? And I looked and she was right. Now, on a level of 1 to disaster, mine was like a 4 and hers was like a 965. But the point is, how about I clean my bathroom before I tell her to clean hers? You know what I'm saying?
That happened with my 6-year-old yesterday. She's like, I was like, go get that room cleaned up and put your laundry away. And like, you can't even see the top of my dresser from folded laundry. And she's like, what pants are you going to wear today? I was like, shut up and go to your room.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, okay, how can I tell her to clean her room when I have like 3 weeks of laundry sitting on top of my dresser?
Right. And it's hard. I mean, for those of you that have teams, and I know we've got new people, so I don't want to just talk about what happens when you have a team. But for those of you who have a team, I'm the first person to admit I've been in that place where I'm just like, oh, I don't really have to do this anymore. But I'll tell everyone else to do it. And that lasted a really short time, A, because it didn't feel right, and B, because I saw what it was doing to my business. So when I say these things to you, I say them out of love and I say them out of experience. Like, some of the things you have to do to build a business. I mean, when I first started, this is literally all I had to do. I don't have a shaker. So I'll just use my keto army bottle. But when I first started, I just had to go like this. Ketones! And post a selfie. And people came out of the woodwork. That's not for everyone, right? So when my warm market was done, when everyone who was going to come running to me because I kissed a packet of keto and posted it on Facebook, when everyone who was going to come to me willingly came, and I had to go out and find people, that wasn't comfortable for me. So that's what we're going to talk about next. It wasn't comfortable.
Before you do that, I want to interrupt you quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Mandy said that really resonated with me, and like she said, like I used to introduce everybody to Mandy right away. Mandy would introduce to her upline right away, and then your business just takes off, and it's like, I got this. I don't need you anymore. But what happens is when your business takes off, that's when you actually do need them. And I know Mandy had no intentions on being this successful with the company. I mean, we all had intentions, but we never thought it would happen. Mandy, fell into it by accident. I fell into it by accident. Leslie, fell into it by accident. Jody, we all did. All the top leaders are basically, none of us thought it would take off like this. So if you start these things from the beginning and stay consistent with them, when your business does blow up, you'll already have that backbone where you've got us to help you too.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Do you guys have any questions before I start moving on to like plays that work to get new people? Raise your hand if you want to know how to get new people. Yay, everybody!
My hand's up.
I assume that it is. My hand's up too. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Raise your hand if you have some people already. Awesome. So that means most of my conversation will work in either direction here. But before we do that, does anybody have any questions about what we just went over? Or how does that work? Or what should I do in this situation? Or feel free, because that's what this is for, to really help you all. No? No one? Y'all, are you sure? Because I could just keep chatting for forever and it could be a really long night.
She's not lying.
I'm not lying. Except for the fact that my kids want to decorate the real tree. So if I'm not off here by 8:30, they'll be in here to shut us down. Oh, 8:30 my time. I'm in a different time.
Keep in mind, guys, she's an hour behind. So somebody asked a question.
Okay, so let's talk about getting new people. I'm going to have a real like open honesty moment with you. What I do every single day is not something that I was comfortable with doing when I first started doing it. We talk a lot about the play that works, which is super simple, and it's one sentence. What do you know about ketones or ketosis? And like I said, in the beginning of my business, it wasn't something I had to ask anyone. In the beginning of my business, I could just go like this, except it wasn't raspberry lemonade. We weren't this awesome yet, but I could just go and post a picture on Facebook, and that was it. And that sounds real glorious, but let me tell you that it meant later in my business that I wasn't really equipped to deal with, well, deal with is the wrong word. I wasn't really equipped to make the transition into actively seeking out new people because I had just had people coming to me, right? So that's my raw, honest statement. So when I had to start the transition to actively seeking new people, because if you're not seeking new people, you're not growing. That's the bottom line. You absolutely, in this industry, if you want to have any type of success, whether it's small or big, you absolutely have to be looking for new people all the time. People that come into your business will fall off the radar way faster than you can bring them in. So some things I like to tell people is if you ever feel like, oh my gosh, I have a ton of inactive people in my business, I would like to show you one day how many inactive people are in mine, right? Okay, yeah, I have 589 customers, but I didn't ask 589 people. I've probably asked 5,089 people. Does that make sense? So my no's are just I just have a lot more no's than you. So if you don't have as many customers as I do, if you don't have as many promoters as I do, it's literally just because I've asked more people. It's literally because I've just said, what do you know about ketones or ketosis to more people than you have. So you have to be okay with no's, and you have to be okay with being uncomfortable, and you have to be okay with caring more. You're going to hear this a lot at Prove It, caring more about other people than you care about what other people think of you. So if you haven't heard it, I'm going to say it again. You have to care more about other people than you care about what other people think of you. The fact that I haven't showered in 3 days and this is still my eye makeup from yesterday is an example of that. I really don't give a rip if you think, holy cow, Mandy looks like ass. Excuse my language. Like, I don't care. I'm here because I care about you and your well-being and your success. So I care more about that than whether or not I got a shower. If I cared about what you thought of me, I would have said, I need to reschedule this until I can get my hair and makeup done. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's completely 100% okay with me if I offer you these suggestions and you say that's not for me. It's completely 100% okay with me if you say, I don't want to do that. It's completely 100% okay with me if you say, oh, that makes me uncomfortable and I don't think that's how I want to grow my business. That's fine. But this is what works and this is what's working. Oh, thank you, Cassidy. Ooh, no. I am going to buy this little thing for my computer, though, that you clip on and it, like, puts a halo light on you. I feel like that'll help make up for the fact that I never get a shower. Anyway, I digress. So here's what works. Divorcing the outcome. That's what Leslie wrote. Divorcing the outcome. What that means is it doesn't matter what happens when you ask someone this question, because it changes nothing if they say no, right? It changes nothing. So it made me feel really weird and uncomfortable the first time I started sending out messages that said, hey, you and I, like, and I don't send them to strangers. I send them to people who I'm friends with on Facebook. So they either sent me a friend request or accepted mine for one reason or the other. I don't care what the reason was. I probably don't remember what the reason was. If I haven't spoken to them, if I open up my messenger and we've never talked, either I sent them a friend request or they sent me one, but either way, we accepted that. We agreed to that connection regardless of the fact that we were going to ever speak to each other, right? So when I click on someone's Facebook and I say we've been friends since 2011, but I have never messaged them, what does it matter if I message them today and they ignore me or tell me to take a hike or say no thank you or tell me you're a lunatic, don't sales pitch me? Like, what does it matter? I've been connected to them for 6 years and we've never spoken a word to one another. So if they delete me, has my life changed? No. But if they say, and this happens more often than you would think, if they say, I don't know anything about ketones or ketosis, and I say, if I send you a video, would you watch it? They say, sure. I send them the video, and A, their lives change. B, maybe they join our team and they're the next rock star. C, maybe they connect me to the next person who joins our team and they're the next rock star. Then it matters. If they don't answer me, what happened? Anything? No. I see lots of staring at me and like, does that make sense, what I'm saying? Right? So like the other day, I messaged someone because I do this all day long. I go to the Facebook page, I click on community, I click on invite friends. It pulls up a list of all the people you haven't talked to in forever. I clicked on this lady, I sent her a message. Hi, whatever her name was, I don't remember. Clearly, she wasn't important to me. We were just Facebook friends for like 6 years. I don't know who she was. Hey, so-and-so, we haven't connected here on Facebook, and for that I'm truly sorry, but I have a quick question for you. what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Okay, this is the same message I sent to 20 people while we were waiting for our table. We were going out to dinner and we were in the waiting area waiting. So I sent them all messages. We order our dinner. We're waiting for our dinner. I decided to check and see our messages. I had a couple of, I don't know anything. I had a whole lot of people who read my message and said nothing. I had a couple people who said, I do the ketogenic diet. I had one person who said, I already use the product. I buy it from so-and-so. Awesome. And then I had one lady who said to me, oh, real nice. You haven't spoken to me in 6 years, and the first thing you do is spam me? And I went, yeah, I think that is real nice. Have you watched this video yet? It'll totally change your life. She blocked me. I don't care. What am I missing out on? I lost nothing. We weren't friends before. I didn't check out her kids' homecoming pictures. She doesn't know that my daughter just turned 16. I didn't congratulate her on a fabulous family vacation. I'm literally making this stuff up. I have no idea if any of those things happened to her or not because I don't know who she is. But at some point, 5 years ago, one of us sent the other person a friend request and the other person accepted. So as far as I'm concerned, it's fair game. I care more about the fact that that could have potentially changed her life than I do about the fact that she said that I spammed her and then deleted me. Like, I don't care. I lost nothing. As a matter of fact, I went back to my friends list and just accepted someone else's friend request. So I'm back up to 5,000. Like, it changed nothing about my life, right? So if you divorce the outcome, you might just connect with someone who is looking for you and they just don't know they're looking for you, or that you're looking for and you just don't know you're looking for them. I have 3 brand new customers this month. All 3 of them came from that exact activity.
I really needed to hear all that.
Yes.
All 3 of them. I needed to hear it too. So what I'm saying to you is something that was said to me that lit a fire under me that said, it really, can I curse? Can I get a,
yeah.
It really doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Shelly, I feel like I'm not allowed to curse in front of you. Ooh, turn off your screen when I say bad words. I'm just teasing. I curse in front of everyone I know, so it's fine. My kids, they learn their first curse words from me. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And I've challenged a couple of people who have said to me that they just don't want to do it. And I've said to them, okay, you do what you do today, and I'll do what I do today, and we'll see how many people sell 5 days. We'll see how many people get a new customer. Let's tally up our results at the end of the month and see whose activity served more purpose. Okay, did I have to be uncomfortable? Yes. Every morning I go like this. Okay, because there's a chance that someone's going to say, are you spamming me? But it didn't matter. I literally went like this. I was like, oh, this lady thinks I'm spamming her. And I get excited that I get to give a witty comeback. So then I give a witty comeback, and then she deletes me, and I drink a glass of wine, and I go about my day like nothing mattered. So I just challenge you to do that. I'm trying to read through.
Oh, we missed one question. One of the girls asked, how do you get them to commit after they get a 5-day?
Okay, so that's a really good question. And the reality is not everyone will. In fact, one of my 3 customers, remember how I told you I had 3 customers I have this month because of that activity? One of the customers, when I was going through the list on Facebook, when I was inviting people to the Facebook page and I went to Messenger, one of the girls, when I opened up the message thread, I actually had talked to, and I talked to her in March when I sent her a sample pack. So she's never ordered from me. She's a brand new customer. So that means that she drank a sample pack in March, and I just now had her purchase today. Because I followed up with her and said, did you know we had raspberries? She got a sample pack when all we had was chocolate swirl and orange and Max Maui, and I probably didn't give her a Max Maui because you had to buy that separate at the time. So she had no idea we had all these amazing flavors, and raspberry lemonade sounded amazing. But what I learned Cassidy, in the meantime, is that you can get a lot better results and a lot better commitment from people that you give 5 days to when you set the expectation ahead of time that the 5 day is so that they can test out which flavor, and you're going to connect with them on day 3 to find out which flavor they like best. So when I give someone a 5 day, I mostly give Max. That's just my personal choice. You can do whatever you want. I mostly do Max because it's just the most popular. People like the flavor the best. I have less issues with trying to convince them that it's good, like I do if I send them orange or chocolate swirl. So I focus primarily on Max, which I'm sure you can see by my shelf back there. This shelf has orange and chocolate swirl because we use those in our family a lot, but I don't really sell them to people. Not that they're not amazing. I choose to go with Max. So what I do when I send the 5 days, a couple of things. First off, I give them the choice. I say, would you like a 5 day or a 10 day? So they're going to get a choice between a 5 day or a 10 day. And I don't know if you've heard this. The 5 to 10 day, Donna, I'm going to kind of go back and forth. Donna's talking about the 5 day sample pack prices vary dramatically on Facebook. They are. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The sample packs are not meant for you to profit on. The sample packs are meant for you to get the experience into people's hands so that they will order from your website. So whatever it is you paid for them, as long as you're selling it for that, you're not losing any money. I am very firm about my prices. However, if someone says to me, oh, well, I saw this other girl post it and she's selling 5 for $35, I'll just go, okay, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and honor that for you this time, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell a lot of people because that's not my actual price. People are incredibly thankful that you're doing that for them. They're likely to refer their friends to you, and their friends are not going to know that they got a good deal. So I would much rather lose $5 than lose a customer. So I don't ever get hung up on price wars. Like, I put most of my product on my Smart Ship, which is 22% off. So unless I charge them practically nothing, I'm going to at least make my money back, right? So I don't worry too much about the price wars.
Something you can do is get them to show you where they've seen the lower price, because that's also a game.
Yeah, I make them show me.
I've seen it for $20 and that's what I want. And say, well, cool, awesome. Just show me where you've seen that price and I'll be happy to match it for you this time.
Absolutely. Thank you for the reminder. I do that as well.
9 times out of 10, it's bullshit.
Yeah. And if it isn't, then you can honor it. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather do that than lose a customer because you'll probably gain tenfold for doing that. But basically, here's what I do. So I give them a 5 day or a 10 day option. When I send the 5 day, I say a couple of things. This is very important. So if you haven't heard me talk about this on the huddle call or on one of our Zooms, it's super important. As soon as I package everything up and put it in the mail, Max will never be available in a 30-pack serving, ever. Just so you know, I'm answering questions as they pop up. It will always be 20. This is what I say. Hey, your goodies are on the way. Quick question, what besides fat loss are you most excited about? Because remember, guys, when you send a 5 day or a 10 day, unless you're sticking them in this box, none of these benefits are listed on the packages. So people are coming to you for fat loss, right? Raise your hand. They're coming to you to lose weight. That's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you what, it's not what I'm most geeked out about, and it's not what I even talk about the most. It's just that the minute we send the campfire video, even though it talks about fat loss, energy, and focus, everybody just pays attention to the fat loss part. Kind of hard not to, because the guy gets a 6-pack in 2 seconds. So, I mean, of course, that's all we're going to think about, right? And so that's what their brain says. Well, I'm going to get a 6-pack in 2 seconds. So I send them a little message, and I say, hey, what other than fat loss are you most excited about experiencing? Better sleep, mental clarity, better focus, a better mood, clearer skin, increased strength, appetite control, whatever. I'll literally go down the list. Reducing brain fog, all that stuff. And 9 times out of 10, I'll get a response something like, oh, I sleep like crap and I have complete brain fog. Awesome. You want to know what? Pay attention to those things, because those are probably going to be the things that you experience before you experience fat loss. And it kind of just sets their, I don't know if you've heard of the word RAS, but it just makes their brain start working. Like, for example, my 16-year-old daughter wants a white Jeep Wrangler with a black top. She's not getting one, by the way, but that's what she wants. So ever since she decided that's what she wants, that's all she sees. Every time we go to the mall, every time we go to a parking lot, if we go to the grocery store on the way to school, or going to get Chinese, we're going out to dinner, whatever we do, there is a freaking white Jeep Wrangler with a black top. I've never seen so many white Jeep Wranglers with a black top in my entire life, and neither has she. It's just that there have always been that many. There have always been that many. We just didn't notice them before, right? Because they weren't a topic of conversation every day. So when I bring these things up to people, this is now what their brain was thinking. So what used to happen is I would send 5 days to somebody and they would say, oh, I didn't lose 5 pounds, so I don't think it worked for me. I didn't lose any weight. Or if you were like me, I gained 3 pounds in my 5-day trial. So, people would go, oh, I didn't lose any weight, it's not for me. Now what happens is somebody says, I didn't lose any weight, but I slept like a rock. I think I'm going to give it a try for 30 days. So that's the first thing I do. I ask them those questions because I want that type of response. Then I say to them, while you're waiting for your goodies to arrive, I highly encourage you to check out these videos. And I send them the entire Keto U link. So pruvitnow.com/keto and the letter U. And that's Dr. Andy in video form answering every question you could possibly think of about how to take the product. Do you need to change your diet? Can I take it if I'm nursing or breastfeeding? What if I have diabetes? Like all this stuff. I guarantee you they're not going to watch them all. But by the time they get to the second video, they're going to be like, holy crap, there's a doctor that backs this. That's pretty impressive. So a lot of their fear goes out the window and they feel like the product is validated and everything you told them is true and real. Okay. You've also, in a way, connected them to our community, because after you send them that, I'm going to encourage you to send them at least 1 or 2 of the videos from Dr. Andy or Dr. Heather and say, also check this out. We have these videos every Wednesday from one of our specialists. Usually it's Dr. Heather or Dr. Andy, so I send a video of each. You can come back and visit every Wednesday. This similar thing happens. You can ask your questions. They answer them live. Go ahead and like the Facebook page too. So you've invited them into the community. You've shown them that the product is validated. You've gotten their attention to look at these things, right? So that's all a huge part of making them feel like this is more than just a product, right? There's also a great tip that I just learned recently where if you know of an Inspire On video that we've done that connects with that person, so let's say you've talked to them and you know that they're a mom or they've got a kiddo with special needs, like Sarah Thornton's video. I mean, I cry every time I watch it, and I've watched it 500 times, right? So it's like, I'll send that. Oh my gosh, just watch this great video while you're waiting. Like, give them something to do while they're waiting for their product to arrive, and then ask for them to tell you when it shows up. So, hey, let me know when it comes. Every time I ask someone to do that, you know what I get? I get a picture. My stuff is here. You've literally geeked them out. You have made them so excited. It is not just a transaction. You care about their experience. You've overloaded them with more information than they could possibly want. And now they tell you that it came and you can go, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait. When are you going to drink your first packet? And they're going to say tomorrow. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, yeah, I can't wait. Like 30 minutes after you drink it, when your Wonder Woman cape comes on, which by the way, Jack just told me Wonder Woman doesn't really have a cape. So I guess I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to say like when your Wonder Woman whip shows up, whatever that golden whip is. I don't know what it's called. Whenever your superhero cape shows up, message me and let me know. Like, so you're just you're already putting it in their head that it's going to be awesome. And then I say to them when their stuff arrives, because you're at least going to send them 3 different flavors. Hey, try this one, and this one, and then let me know which is your favorite so we can get your product ordered and it can get to you before you run out. Or so you won't be out for very long before it arrives. Set the expectation that the 5-day is literally just so they know what flavor they like best and they know that they're not going to die. Right. That's really why people want to try it out. They also think they're going to lose 5 pounds in 5 days, and that's going to be the test. That'll be the test. But if you set the expectations that that's not what the trial pack is for, you're going to be more likely to turn them into 30-day customers. I also really encourage you to consider putting a pack of cream in your 5-day, even though it's not a ketone product. It is probably, whether you know it or not, it is probably one of our best-selling products. And there are people who order that alone and never order keto. Like, you can give people Max and keto cream, and when they decide they don't need Max anymore, they're going to keep ordering keto cream. So it really wins people over. Does that help? Yes, I got it. You love that hint and a yes. So it's really cool because you're going to start divorcing the outcome and you're going to go out of your comfort zone. And here's what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm going to ask that you take a deep breath and tell yourself you can do it. And it doesn't really matter what people think of you. What matters is that you cared enough about them to share this with them. Like, I feel, I used to use the word obligated, but I hate that word. Obligation sounds so heavy. I feel like it's my responsibility to share this with people, and that not saying something is actually the bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, I really genuinely believe that. So it's not like cliche. It's not something I'm just saying. Like, I really believe that the bad thing would be if I didn't say something. Jericho, log on right now, stop, drop, and roll, and buy cream. That's unacceptable. Dead serious. It is life-changing, and I don't know how you even form words if you are not consuming cream. I can't imagine my brain working if I didn't have keto cream. I'm dead serious. So, that's kind of where I stand. And also, let me tell you what, when I do this message thing, at least 2 or 3 times a week, because I message a lot of people. I have 5,000 friends. So if I want to get through everybody this year, I have to send a lot of messages every day. And at least 2 or 3 times a week, someone says to me, I already use the product. So what does that mean? Someone else is going to get to people before you do if you don't do it. And it is like I want to stab myself in the eye because I've been afraid to send these messages for months and months and months and months and months. I really did not start getting aggressive with this until probably August. I started it in August and got aggressive. In September. And so I just think, like, these people who I come across that I'm connected to that are already using the product and buying from someone else, not on side of our team, and I'll go over what cream does and all the benefits in a second. And I could have reached out to them, right? It could have been me. So when I first started, when I asked someone, what do you know about ketones and ketosis, the answer was always nothing. Now, about 50% of the time, someone's doing the ketogenic diet, or they've heard of our product, or they follow low carb, or their aunt or their mom or their dad or their husband or their sister or their best friend or their coworkers are on a ketogenic diet. Like, people know what it is, and it's only a matter of time because our company is what drew attention. I mean, the ketogenic diet is the most widely searched term on Google. And I mean, it's no coincidence that that started to increase the minute Pruvin started to exist. So we're a brand new company, and there's a whole crap ton of opportunity out there, but someone else out there isn't afraid to send those messages. You know what I mean? Someone else out there isn't afraid to ask. And I have a lot of mutual friends with people on our team because we kind of did one of these things together. And sometimes, like, I message someone, they're like, oh, I'm already a customer of so-and-so. Okay, well, that's fine because you're somewhere in my business. But at the same time, it makes me feel real like I'm in a being aggressive in the sense that I'm going to message more people every day, because if you're interested, I want to be the person to introduce you to it. You know what I mean? So I feel not obligated, but responsible to share it with other people. And I also feel like someone else out there I don't want anyone else out there to want success more than I do, right? Like, I care about other people, but I also care about the goals I've set for my family. And what's really cool is that asking that question and not caring what people think meets both of those needs. So that's my jam about that. Cream. Let me tell you what cream does in the easiest terms possible. It makes my brain work. Like, I can tell on days when, drinking ketones in general have completely changed the way my brain works and helps me think clearer, and I have reduced brain fog. And I don't know about you, but like, I used to be the kind of person that would walk upstairs and then I couldn't remember why I went upstairs. And I'd have to go all the way back downstairs and be like, okay, let's try this again. Why did I go up there? And like, try and make my brain regurgitate, why did I go upstairs? And I was on ADHD medication for a really long time because of stuff like that. I don't take any of it anymore. Nothing to do with keto. So I'm not making a medical claim. I stopped taking ADHD medicine because I could always hear my heartbeat, like in my neck. I'd be like, can you hear my heart? I feel like you can hear my heart. Like, it just doesn't agree with me. So I'd rather be forgetful than feel that way. But ever since Keto OS, I've not been forgetful. I don't have those moments, but cream just takes it to a whole new level. I think especially for women, I feel like our bodies just really respond well to those healthy fats, and to have them first thing in the morning, it's just huge. So our keto cream has MCTs, which help you produce your own ketones. They keep you satiated, which means fuller, longer. And then, some people will say the same thing, Jocelyn. They have more energy because the MCTs are helping you produce your own ketones too. So like, when your body's making its own ketone bodies on top of supplying with exogenous ketones, that's just a huge benefit. We've got collagen for anti-aging. So like, my hair is growing real fast. My nails are healthy and getting long. And then we have AC11, which is for DNA repair. So long story short, we have these little things in our cells called telomeres, and they determine our life expectancy. They're real long when we're born. And then as we age and we have stress and illness and outside factors, our telomeres get shorter. And there's a ton of studies out there right now saying that AC11, along with ketones do this as well, but AC11 triggers all of these signaling things in the cells in your body and help you better use ketones. And those two things combined are being proven to lengthen your telomeres. So, AKA, I want to live to be 150, so I'm going to drink it every day. I figure between ketones, cream, and wine, I will be ridiculously well preserved, and I'll be the first person. They say the first person to live to 150 is alive right now today, so I think that's me. But that means Jack Mitchell has to live to 156 because I really like him, and I can deal with him being gone, so I guess that means he'll be the first person to make it to 150. He thinks that's way too long to deal with me, so he's not excited about that.
Hey, Mandy.
Yeah.
I think Will had a question a little bit farther up there. What did it say?
Right. Okay, let me look.
Where is it? Oh, he was wondering about...
He may have just messaged you because I don't see it on here.
Sorry, I missed that.
He may have just messaged you privately because I don't see one from Will.
Oh, it says to everyone. It says for those of us who don't have people that aren't on our Facebook or friends on Facebook, what are rules, thoughts about posting in groups?
So I don't personally use group pages. That's just a personal thing of mine. I don't like buy, sell, trade sites or stuff like that, but that's just a personal note. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. And if you're cool with it, that would be, I would assume, the ultimate form of not caring what other people think about you and you just caring more about them, because almost every conversation that I have with people about those groups, 90% of them is, this is what this terrible person commented and now I can't get rid of it. And now there's this whole conversation about how ketones will kill you and blah, blah. And I don't have the energy for that. Like, it makes me want to stab myself in the eye when I get someone else's screenshot and that's not even mine. So that is the ultimate, you don't care what people think about you. So high five. If you can post in one of those pages, you can for sure send 20 what do you know about ketones or ketosis messages a day. But there's no rule that says you can't do it. So does that answer your question? I'm sorry, I don't really see it on here, so I'm just going off of what Leslie read to me. I just don't use them. I've not had personal fun in those groups. Oh, he says yes. I see that part. Any other questions? Jackie, is there anything else that you really want me to cover, or was that good for today? Or
No, that was awesome. I really needed to hear the part about divorcing the outcome and who cares. Because you're right, like I have 3,000 friends on Facebook and I know like 5 people. So who cares? Mm-hmm. So I know that part was really powerful for me, but I don't have anything else. I think that was great.
And Josie Lynn, you've had really good success with that in group pages, so maybe you'd be willing to share either now or on another team Zoom, like how that works for you. Because I have zero experience in that, so I can't really give you good stuff. And yay, Jackie, that makes me happy that you feel that way, because I know you've said to me, and then we'll let Josie Lynn if she wants to share some tips. I know you said to me, I'm not doing that. And I've said that too. I'm not doing that. And then I started doing it, and I was like, well, shit, this works. And sometimes I have days where I don't feel like that's the message I want to send. And so some days I just invite people to the Facebook page and I invite them with a message. I'll say, hey, we haven't chatted in a while, or maybe we haven't chatted at all. I was wondering if you could do me a favor and like our Facebook page. We're really working to get to 200,000 likes before the end of the year. We're so excited. It would mean a lot. Thank you in advance. And then I send the link to our Facebook page and send them an invite. And then Facebook will tell me when they like it, although most of the time they say sure thing. And then I get to say, awesome, thank you so much. Did you get a chance to look at the page? Or I'll say, do you know anything about what we do? And they'll say, what do you do? And I'll say, well, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Or someone the other day had a great one, I'm a biohacker. Or I'll say, oh, I make people feel like superheroes. So I can start a conversation that way too. But I'm going to be honest, I really do get more activity every day when I'm just blunt about it.
Something I wanted to touch on the other day, and I forgot in the group. Careful too, guys. Like somebody posted, I have a new page. Can everybody please go like my page? Don't do that. Yeah. All you're doing then is driving your potential people to another page, because you can see every page that everybody likes. So it's nothing personal, but when you all invite me to like your pages, I don't, because I'm not going to drive my people away. And don't share anything off of another page except for a Pruvin page. A lot of you follow my like page and you share my stuff, and all you're doing is sharing my link with everybody. So don't like other promoters' pages unless it's like the official Pruvin page, because anything else is detrimental to your business.
And I'm going to spin off that, Josie. I promise I tabled you. There's a pin in you. Another thing I'm going to tell you is that as far as Facebook algorithms are concerned, nobody sees anything off of a like page anyway, so that's not where I would spend most of your time. What we're sharing with people is going to change people at such a personal level, such a deep level, that you want to be doing this from your personal page anyway, right? Like you really want people to watch your personal journey. So I encourage you to do it from your personal page anyway. People want to see that you're a real person. They want to see your family. Someone the other day when I messaged them, and I've never spoken to them before, his response was, actually, thank you so much for not deleting me. I enjoy watching you and your family. It looks like you all have an amazing time and your business is incredible. I'd love to learn more. So people are watching what you do, and it's your real version of yourself, not a business page. So I have one. I don't use it. And here's a really good example. Raise your hand if on the regular you see Provin's Facebook posts in your feed. I encourage you to go back and look and see if it's actually Pruvin or if you see it because someone you're friends with shared it. It's because someone that you're friends with shared it. I like the page. I have looked at it every single day for over a year. I have been commenting on multiple things every single day for a year, and I don't see it unless I go to the page or someone shares it. And there are almost 200,000 likes on that page. So if that's the algorithm and you have a like page with 400 likes on it, don't spend your time on that like page. That's not going to get you business. At least not it's not that you might not ever get business, but it's not going to get you the kind of business that you want. So I encourage you to use your personal page. Jody says, what advice can you give some new promoters who may only have 50 to 200 friends in their friends list? Increase your friends list every single day. Every single day. If you don't have 5,000, here's what I'm going to be honest with you. This is another divorce to outcome. Who cares what people think? If you want to grow a business and you want to use social media to do it, you have to actually have social media. If you want to network with your social media, you have to have a network. So it doesn't mean that you can't go out and build a business if you don't have 5,000 friends, but if you want to do it with the most powerful tool that's literally ever been created for people like us, and it's free, increase your friends list every single day.
But don't go to, if you have 500 mutual friends with somebody, don't add that person as a friend, and don't add promoters.
I don't add promoters. I try not to. Sometimes I do.
I know, but we have somebody on the team that we told to do that, and by the end of the day, she had 120 of my friends that were all promoters on there. And it's no, that's not going to help you.
I always say when I challenge someone on my team, this is what I say. I say, okay, take a screenshot of your friends. You have 500 friends and we have 82 mutual friends. So your goal is to increase the 500 and not the 82. That's what my goal is, when I challenge someone, because you don't want to have same mutual friends with me. That's dumb. That means it's all promoters. So you don't want just promoters on your team. So I would encourage you to grow your friends list. Go to your husband's Facebook page or your wife's Facebook page and friend request all of their friends, right? I mean, you want to be friends with all their friends anyway. There could be a cute girl that's scoping out your husband. You better be friends with her. For real. I have team members who are girls my husband went to high school with. No joke. And it's because I sent them friend requests. So it's just for real. Your spouse's friends, your mom's friends, your sister's friends, your brother's friends, your cousin's friends, your best friend's friends. I mean, my best friend doesn't work the business. Guess what? I have sent a friend request to every single friend of hers, because if she's not going to do it, I will. So that's how I grew my friends list. I also grew my friends list by being in a group for chocolate labs. I have labs. I'm actually surprised they haven't been barking this whole time. And I just interact with people in that page. I'm obsessed with my dogs. You're obsessed with your dogs. I don't think people who are obsessed with dogs are lunatics. I think that by nature, they're probably really good people because they snuggle up with a dog at the end of the night. They're probably fine. So I interacted with people until I got a sense for whether or not they were normal, and then I sent them a friend request. So I do those sorts of things. My local town, we have a community page for my local town. Why wouldn't I want to be connected to all the people in my community? You know what I mean? So now that I have teenagers, I make sure I'm friends with all their parents. My kids are playing sports. I made sure I was friends with all those parents. So you have a network that you can grow without being creepy and weird and without, adding legitimate strangers. So I'll go to somebody I went to high school with that I'm already friends with. I'll go to their Facebook page and I'll look at their friends list. Well, if I've got 9, 10, 12 mutual friends with these people. We probably all went to high school together, right? So I'm just going to friend request. I've had to divorce that outcome a long time ago. I don't post weird pictures of my kids. Like, I don't announce to the world when we're leaving for vacation and my house is unattended. Like, the things that you're afraid of by having people you don't know on your friends list are what's holding you back from growing a business. I'd rather grow a business. I'd rather have a whole bunch of strangers on my friends list and change the crap out of their lives than live in fear that some dude is going to know I'm out of town. That's why I have homeowners insurance. I don't know. That's just my theory. Y'all might think I'm crazy. I told you, some of you are going to love me and some of you are going to hate me when we're done with this. But either way, it's who I am. Okay. So grow your friends list. Next one is tips on flipping customers to promoters. So we've kind of talked about this on a couple of our huddle calls lately. Some things you can do is ask for favors. So maybe make a post on your Facebook page and say, hey, I'm looking for a favor from any of my current customers. If you'd like to earn some extra free keto, let me know. Everyone who says me, you message them, you say, hey, if you could do me a huge favor, post on your Facebook holding a packet of your keto and talk about what benefits you currently have that you love. Okay, and tag me in it. So what happens is they post about it. That's real, that's genuine. It's not a sales pitch because they're not a promoter, right? But they're saying, I found this and I love it. Their friends want to know about it. The minute 2 people comment, you get to say, holy cow, girl, did you know if those 2 people buy from your customer link, you could get it free? Oh, 3 people commented. Guess what? If those 3 people, you need to become a promoter because you could earn money. So there are just things like that you can do. I would encourage you to start with the focus of the customer referral program. I don't ever really want to flip someone to be a promoter. The best promoters are people who have influence, and who are really passionate. So asking that question, the best people, the people who are going to be successful are super passionate. They're leadable, teachable, coachable, and they have some kind of influence or are willing to create influence. Right? Maybe you don't have a lot of friends or a lot of connections right now, but you're really passionate about what we're doing and you're leadable, teachable, coachable. So you are willing to go get those things. You're willing to expand your network. So if you have a friend who's willing to make that post on Facebook for you, she's leadable, teachable, coachable. If she says something real and about how much she loves the product, she clearly has or could have passion. And if more than one person says, what's that? She has influence. That's a promoter. So that's just one way to kind of find out if there's anybody out there that you currently have as a customer that's willing to do it. I'm not sure what Donna means by that. And yeah, making sure you're connected with people who have similar interests, for sure. Oh, I'm also on a wine page. Go figure. I actually warned Jackie I might be on this Zoom with wine, but I finished my glass before I came up here. It's just been a day. I've been on Zoom since 1 o'clock. So I was like, I might have wine, but I don't. Is there anything else? I'm keeping you guys real late. It's almost 10. It's almost 9 here, and I can tell my kids are down there decorating the tree without me because they're sick of waiting, which is fine. I don't really like decorating the tree. Don't tell them.
Yes, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Brandy.
Okay, how do we close out a sale? Like, for example, I find like as soon as I get to a part where the customer's like, well, how much? I find that's where it gets awkward. What is the best way to deliver to them how much? Okay,
so first of all, I want you to stop thinking that you're closing them because that's not who we are. We're not a transaction-based company, so I'm just going to scold you publicly for that, okay? Second of all is I never, ever, ever share dollar amounts when we're talking about placing an order. So what I say to people when they say, how much is it? My reply is typically something like this. Cost is, and I can probably regurgitate it for you. Cost is going to depend a lot on how many times you want it, like how many servings you want a day, which formula / flavor you want, if you want a canister or on the go packs, if you'd like to save 22% by having a smart ship. And I said, and of course, then it gets even trickier because customers and promoters can earn theirs for free, which is what I do. So I'm not even sure how much my product costs since I haven't paid for mine in 11 months. Here's my website. Why don't you go throw a couple of things in the cart? Okay, so you're literally encouraging them to put the items in the cart, and then let me know what you chose, and I'll tell you what the best route to go is.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Honestly, that helps a lot.
Thank you. They get to your site, they put some stuff in their cart. Let me tell you a little something awesome about our Pruvin website. Every time they click on your link again, they're going to go back to that page, and those items will always be in their cart. They will have to remove them, even if they never place an order. Every time they click on any Pruvin link, it's going to click back to you, and those items are going to be in their cart. I know. Those are for the toy drive.
That's hella cool.
I know.
You're an American Girl doll?
Yeah, someone donated an American Girl doll. I know. Our local team, we're doing a toy drive. So for the next 2 weeks, this is our bonus room above our garage, and part of it is my office, but it's currently covered in toys right now because we're collecting toys to do Toys for Tots. So that's kind of what I do. That's how it works. And then if they put it in there and they say, oh, it's this much, but they're going to see. It crosses it out and tells you how much money you can save if you set up a smart ship. And then if they are bummed because it's not on their first order, I have the choice at that point determining whether they're committed or dabbling if I want to offer them a Prove It Back coupon or whatever to get started. So I never talk cost.
Okay.
I never tell them. Some people try really hard to get me to give them a number, and I won't do it.
I have people that actually get mad if I don't tell them the cost. Like, just tell me what the cost is. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I would still say it's really going to depend on what you want. Go to my website, tell me what you want, I'll tell you how much it is.
Yep.
And then they're going to see the price. That drives me crazy. We live in a world of this. Siri, like, no joke, Jackie, you didn't answer me fast enough today, so I was like, what time is it in Alberta, Canada?
That's hilarious.
We live in a world like that, where it took Jackie more than 4.6 seconds to answer my question. So I was like, Siri, what time is it in Alberta, Canada? So people just want you to regurgitate the information for them, and I just don't like it. So I don't do it.
And if they don't go to your site, chances are that's when you lose them.
Yeah. So I would just send them to your site. How do you process coupons off your Pruvin?
We can go over that.
Yeah. I'm not going to answer that because it's on your homepage. The directions are there. I want to hear what Josie does real quick. Josie, can you tell us in less than 6 minutes so my kids don't break up with me? Did you guys decorate the tree already?
Oh, yeah, we started.
I think can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have my headphones in and I have no mic, but most of the people on the Zoom, I think, are doing a little bit of the buy and sells, and my computer is hooked up to my hotspot because we have no Wi-Fi right now. So if we cut out, I'm really sorry.
Okay.
The biggest thing I tell everybody is to make sure you have literally thousands and thousands and thousands of buy and sells at your hands. You have all of Canada, you have the US, you have wherever we are able to send to. Don't limit yourself. If you don't get hits on one spot, go to another. Keep it short and simple. Don't make medical claims. I usually stick to what's on the back of the box or the can or whatever you guys have. And voicing the outcome as well. You get so many negative people that think they know everything about ketones on those posts. And I used to get frustrated with it, but now it's bound to happen. Everybody knows everything when it comes to, there's just people that think they know everything. So instead of getting frustrated now, I either just delete my post and make a new one, or I'll message that person privately and send them the Keto U link or a link to Prove It's Facebook page and tell them they can find info there from the doctors and the scientists and the specialists that know what they're doing. And I've had 2 people come back to me I'm saying, oh, okay, well, maybe this is legit. This is an actual doctor or a scientist. And so I don't know, there's so much to social networking, and that's just my thing.
For me, I won't do it.
I think a lot of girls on here, though, are in the buy and sells. I think most of the people on the Zoom do buy and sells.
I think you guys for sure do it way more in Canada than we do it here.
Well,
Canada and like Southerners, people in my.
That's how I came in, right? Like we came in doing social networking, like just from my Facebook, to being terrified to work cold market, and that was my next step, was buy and sells. My personal Facebook page to buy and sells, and now it's working up the courage to actually talk to people everywhere I go. Like me and Jackie were in Toronto for a mixer a couple weeks ago, and it was like talking to the cab drivers or the Uber drivers when they ask you about like, why are you here? What do you do? And well, we teach people about ketones, and then they go off. So that was our way of doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's a whole nother topic that we could get on and be on here for forever.
Something quick about the cold market, though, I wanted to mention is it's the same as your Facebook page. Instead of posting in 75 different buy and sells this week, pick 10. So like on Monday, you'll post in 5. Tuesday, you'll post in 5 different ones. Monday or Wednesday, go back, delete the 5 from your group from Monday, and repost, because consistency in a buy and sell is the same as consistency on your Facebook profile.
Yeah, it's huge. I have one buy and sell that I still post in every single time on a Wednesday or a Thursday at like midnight. And the last 3 times that I've posted, I've had like over 200 messages within like 2 to 3 days off in the same buy and sell. So some of them are like super hot. They just go nuts.
We were with a different company before, and that's how I found Jody, is she was selling for this other company to begin with. And it took me like 75 times to see her post before I messaged her. And when I first messaged her, I told her to go fly a kite because she sent me a copy-paste reply. So that's another thing, is keep your replies personal. Don't just copy and paste the same thing to everybody, because they know. And I'm like, you're not just going to copy and paste me. And I actually got the product from somebody else to begin with, because Jody copied and pasted me in a buy and sell group.
Jody, you failed.
But I did go back to Jody because the other girl wasn't going to work the business. But keep that just as personal as if you were talking to grandma.
And then I think we should do a whole other Zoom maybe one day on how you can approach people in real life, because I think people struggle with that, and it's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm happy to go through a Zoom like that with y'all if you want to. I'm gonna
decorate your tree.
I'm going to answer Dawn's question real quick, and then I'm going to go decorate the rest of my tree. It sounds like they already started without me, which is what I told you would happen. Dawn said, what do you tell people who ask about following the keto diet, or if there is a plan available to supplement? So here's what I tell people, and then I'm going to tell you something also. What I tell people is I actually have, and I can send it to Jody. I think I have sent it to Jody before, and she can send it to all of you, or I can post it in your team page. I have this little picture, and it's got 8 little steps, okay, that says this is how you get started with Keto OS.
It's in our customer page. I actually sent it to Mandy.
Awesome. Yeah, I got all the separate things from you and made a little graphic out of it. And I just send that to people. And I say, this is all you have to do. Add one of these things a day for your first 8 days, and then do all 8 of them all the time, and you will see results. If you want to follow a ketogenic diet, that's awesome. Google it. It's the best. It's the most widely searched diet on the internet, so you're going to find tons of information. I am not your nutritionist. I'm not coaching you through a diet. I can assure you, I have done it before in another company. You do not want to be someone's nutritionist or diet coach. It's not fun.
That was horrible.
We'll be at dinner, and they will be sending you pictures of the fact panels on the back of their food at the grocery store. So don't get yourself in that mess. I just tell people, if you want to follow the ketogenic diet, that's awesome, but Keto OS is diet independent. So as long as you're making healthy choices and following a healthy diet, you're going to see the benefits of drinking ketones. If fat loss is your number one goal, follow these 8 steps, follow them religiously until you can get yourself to a place where you can follow a strict ketogenic diet. Most people think that fat loss is their number one goal until they sleep good. Most people think fat loss is their number one goal until they don't want to bite their kids' heads off. Most people think fat loss is their number one goal until they realize how tedious and horrible the ketogenic diet really is if you have to track all your macros. So I give them those 8 steps because that's what I do. And it allows me a little bit of freedom, and then I don't feel pressured to guide them through it. So I am going to tell you, though, that we had the trial run of the Keto N8, and they took all of our feedback, and there will be a completed program available in 2018. When in 2018, I don't know, but you will have a program in 2018 that you'll be able to offer people that they can follow. Again, not one that you will coach them through, but one that they'll be able to follow. So we will be offering that. We just don't have it yet. So are we good? As Mitch Newman would say, do we feel complete? Yay. It was so good to see your faces. I hope that you got some kind of value out of this, or at least the 20 of you that stayed on got some value out of this. I really appreciate you all being up late tonight. And I appreciate you guys for sort of waiting for me to do the tree.
Well, if it makes you feel better, they started without me too.
So they started without you too, so we were both slacking.
Well, I was just thinking.
You were just
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Her birthday's over. We do not need to encourage long-term celebration of
No, it's
birthdays.
I heard you're getting a new Jeep.
Yeah.
She got, did you see the pic? Did I post a picture? My dad sent her a Jeep for her birthday, but it was a toy Jeep.
I have been doing these rentals for days, it feels like. So no, but anyways, happy birthday. And thank you so much, Mandy.
Yep.
Thank you, Jackie and Mandy. Thank you very much, both of you.
Yep. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You guys let me know if you need anything, and we can set this up anytime. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Jackie, I'm going to send you the recording. I'll have it to you tomorrow.